Hi, I'm Larry Richardson, your step-by-step chef. In this episode, we're going to make an absolutely delicious omelet. It is grilled mushrooms and onions, grilled steak, and a little bit of cheese. Now to make this omelet, it's absolutely worth it, trust me on this, you need to watch two other videos on stepbystepchef.com. One will show you how to make grilled mushrooms and onions, and the other one will show you how to make the grilled steak. So I'm assuming that you've already done that before we get to the omelet step. So this is really actually a great use of leftovers. You have the leftover steak, you have your leftover mushrooms and onions, and then you throw it into an omelet. It's absolutely worth it. So please try this. Come on, let's cook. Okay, so last night you had the Step-by-Step Chef's grilled steak with special rub on it, and you also had his grilled mushrooms and onions. Those are right off the grill. You had a great dinner, and while everybody was distracted, you pilfered a half a cup of steak and 3/4 of a cup of the mushrooms and onions, and you hid them in the back of the refrigerator. Those are our prime ingredients. The next thing we have 4 eggs. We have a 1/4 cup of shredded cheese, and pick the flavor that you like, and we have a teaspoon of butter. Now there's not a lot of prep to this because we did the prep last night when we were grilling the steak and the mushrooms. So please take a look at those recipes. I think you're really going to like them. They make a great dinner, and boy, do they make a great omelet the next day. So let me show you how to put all this together. And the first thing we're going to do is beat the eggs. And we're going to beat them with 1 teaspoon of water. And what that water does is fluff up the eggs. Some people like to add milk. Honestly, I don't notice the difference because it's not a lot of milk or water, but what it does do is it fluffs up the eggs. So use whichever you like. And we're just going to beat it to a nice uniform consistency. Okay, that's good. Perfect. And now what we're going to do is take the steak and onions and just cut them down a little bit. You certainly don't want these big chunks of steak in your omelet. If it's nice and uniform throughout the omelet, it just tastes so much better. So just slice it into these little pieces. So there we go. Now, the real trick to slicing this steak into these little pieces is not to eat it. Don't eat it. That's the challenge, because it was delicious last night. It's absolutely killing me not to just take this whole bowl of steak and dump it in my mouth, but don't eat it. Be good. Don't eat it. And now with the mushrooms and the onions, I'm just going to cut them down a little bit because everyone likes a different texture with these omelets, and I just like it to have these little pieces that all blend together when I'm eating the omelet. I don't like big pieces of vegetable or steak when I'm eating these. A forkful of the egg with a little bit of the cheese and these grilled vegetables on it, I mean, that's plenty. That is just perfect. But, I've had omelets where it's a huge chunk of pepper in your mouth, then a huge chunk of mushroom, and then it just goes on and on. And sometimes, like the whole vegetable, it just pulls right out of the egg, the cooked egg. And I like it like this. I like it all melded together. And this is like, it just tastes, I have to say it, it tastes like grilling magic this way. Okay, so this is another example of self-control, because these were delicious too last night. And I want to chuck them down. Basically, I want to chug mushrooms and onions, these grilled mushrooms and onions and that grilled steak, but I'm not going to do it. We must make this omelet. We must forge on. I'll meet you over at the stove. Okay, so this frying pan has been preheating for about 5 minutes at just under medium heat. So I'm just taking our teaspoon of butter. It always gets tacky in Florida. And just putting it in the pan. Spread it out, get it nice and spread over the bottom of the pan. Nice and even. And then we're just going to pour the egg mixture in. A little bit of a beat, and then egg mixture. Now, I don't know about you, but my range is always just a little bit off center. So I have to just jiggle it a little bit, get it right, because I want the egg mixture to be layered right across. Now you see these little dark windows in the egg? That is what we're going to look through to make sure that a base forms for the omelet. The base will keep the steak and the mushrooms and the cheese from being right on the element. I like to have a nice omelet fold when we're done. So forming that base is very important to me, and it takes about 3 minutes. Once you see this turn white or yellow, these darker spots, then you'll know you have a base. It doesn't have to be cooked all the way through. The liquid parts don't have to turn solid, but I just want that base. Like I said, it takes about 3 minutes. Okay, so here we are 3 minutes later, and look at that. They've turned yellow and white. That's perfect. That means our base is there. And what we do is we spread the onions and mushrooms over half. Do this on half of the omelet. Fight that urge. Just give it a little bit of a spread. And then we do the same thing with the steak. And I'm trusting you not to put all the steak on your side of the omelet. If you're splitting this omelet, we must share. Oh boy, is this going to be delicious. And then we just spread the cheese on the other side. Yep. And then what we're going to do is cover it for about 5 minutes. And what we're looking for is for all of the egg on this side to turn solid and for the cheese to melt down. And that will tell us the omelet is ready to be flipped. I'll be right back. So 5 minutes later, let's take a look. There we go. The cheese is melted. I don't see any wet, runny egg. And we're just going to fold this over. And there we go. That omelet is ready to be at. So congratulations, look at what you just did. You just made this delicious steak, mushroom, onion, and cheese omelet, the grilled version. I can't wait to eat this. When I cook for the Step-by-Step Chef, I am actually cooking my dinner or my breakfast. I eat this food and I love it. Now, if you want the recipe for this omelet, please go to my website, stepbystepchef.com. There you will find a printable version of this recipe, along with printable versions of over 100 recipes, along with free video links. So my name is Larry Richardson. I am your Step-by-Step Chef, and I'll see you in the next episode.